Look at this right here. The snap is muffed. Goff jumps on the ball. He's swarmed by Chiefs players, takes a hit on the ground, and Gibbs is there giving his quarterback a helping hand up. That is the definition of a team player right there. You know, I've never seen a Green Bay Packers running back help their quarterback up after a sack. Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon, and Josh Jacobs is known for never helping his quarterback up. And this is just one of many reasons why Jahmyr Gibbs is one of the best NFL running backs right now. At least top 10. I would argue he's top 5, but easily top 10 running back right now in the NFL. And next year, next NFL season, 2024, NFL defenses are going to fear him. Like, defenses aren't going to want to play the Lions in general, but Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be one of the names that they're going to have on their whiteboard. They're going to watch the film and go, how can we stop this weapon? We know Jahmyr Gibbs was the 12th overall pick, the 2023 NFL draft, coming out of Alabama, known for his speed, playmaking skills, and role in the receiving game. Before I get into a lot about Jahmyr Gibbs' game, I want to talk about the draft and when he was taken by the Lions. Originally, Detroit had 12 and 18 in the first round. The Arizona Cardinals, they contacted Brad Holmes saying they want to move up to 6 and they would return the Lions to 12. Now, originally, Brad Holmes was ready to take Jahmyr Gibbs at 6. Now we know Bijan Robinson was taken by the Falcons at 8, and no one really cared. But the Lions, we know the story, they end up taking Jahmyr Gibbs at 12. Everyone freaked out. It was one of the biggest storylines from the draft. The Lions waste a pick on a running back with their 12th overall selection. So just thinking about how much people freaked out and criticized the Lions. Even Lions fans were like, I hate this organization. No way we wasted our 12th pick on a running back. Just whatever. How crazy it would have been if the Lions took Gibbs at 6. Anyway, Holmes thought about it. There's a video on this. The Lions inside the den. I'll link it down in the description. But he was a little nervous. Him and MCDC, they're worried that Gibbs might not still be on the board when they get to 12, but they looked at who was picking, thought there's a good chance that he would still be there. He went with his gut and ended up working out. The Cardinals ended up taking offensive tackle Paris Johnson Jr., who had a good rookie season, but the Cardinals sent over the 34th overall pick in the draft and a 5th rounder to move up and receive a 3rd rounder. Now with that 34th overall pick, the Lions selected Sam Laporta. I don't need to say anything else about that. Just a great move by Brad Holmes, going with his gut. Great decision. And 2 great draft picks. Everyone likes to say running backs don't matter. Why would you pick them high in the draft? They don't have that much impact on a team. Anyone can run the ball through an offensive line. But when you watch Jahmyr Gibbs, you might want to reconsider your opinion. After week 1, Jahmyr Gibbs showed everyone in the NFL opener in KC, where the Lions beat the Chiefs. He showed the world that he was for real. And after I watched that game, I was like, yeah, this guy, he's going to be a stud. I thought that just after we drafted him because I had faith in Brad Holmes and I like Jahmyr Gibbs. But after watching that, it just solidified it. This is one of Jahmyr Gibbs' first NFL runs. Takes the ball to the left, makes a man miss, spins, gets upfield with the speed, levels out a defender, and it takes about 3 guys to take him down. Now, I know the Lions have a phenomenal offensive line, and that is one of the keys of an NFL offense and a strong run game. It's true, you can't have a good run game if you have no offensive line. No running back is going to be able to have consistent positive net yards when there's 3 defenders in his face at all times. But when you have someone like Jahmyr Gibbs and he just gets the slightest crease or opening, he can make phenomenal plays. And when he gets to the second level, it's sometimes guaranteed touchdown. Another part of his game which people underestimate is his role in the receiving game. Here, Goff just dumps it off. He's in space, picks up 8-10 yards. A lot of people have dug up and found statistics showing that running backs, even though they can be used in the passing game, they're not useful. They don't mean anything. Wide receivers are more valuable. And some of that might be true, but with a lot of that data, they're taking into account just when running backs line up in the slot or out wide as a wide receiver. How often is Jahmyr Gibbs going to be lining up in the slot and it's a designed play just for him? Very rarely. Most of the time, it's going to be him coming out of the backfield, and it's going to be a designed screen, or once in a while, he'll be going downfield, or Goff is just going to be able to dump it off to him if he's under pressure. And when that happens, that's, I think, where Gibbs shines, because Goff can be about to get sacked, dump it off to Gibbs, and then Gibbs is in open space, and with a man that has his type of speed and playmaking skills, that's dangerous for any defense. So you take a negative play where Goff gets sacked or has to throw the ball away. Instead, he gives it to Gibbs, and then Gibbs makes a play and sometimes picks up 10, 15, 20 yards. Here against the Raiders is a perfect example. Goff drops back. It's a designed play for Gibbs. Screen. He takes the pass, makes a man miss, and sees a bunch of open space and takes it up with his speed. No defender can catch him. It's not even close. This play, for example, a lot of running backs could probably run through this hole and pick up 10 yards. All right, that's fair. But how many are making that spin move and breaking this many tackles to pick up 20 plus, and then doing this consistently? This week 8 matchup against the Raiders, I'd say, was Jahmyr Gibbs' breakout game. Week 1 through 4, he had some pretty good runs. Atlanta was a big game, 80 yards of rushing. Week 7 against Baltimore, the Lions were down by a lot, and they were just giving Gibbs a ton of attempts, I think, just to get him used to the NFL, working him in slowly. We noticed that the Lions and MCDC worked him in slowly. There's tons of memes about him. Pick a running back at 12 and just not use him, whatever. But week 8 against the Raiders, 150 yards rushing and a touchdown. Oh my goodness, he was unstoppable in this game. And on the season, nearly 1,000 yards rushing as a rookie and splitting the backfield with Montgomery. Another 300 yards receiving, 11 total touchdowns, and then another 250 yards of total offense in the playoffs and 3 more touchdowns. Another part of Jahmyr Gibbs' game I love is he is extremely strong. You look at Montgomery and Gibbs, and I did this as well, you just think that Montgomery is more of the bigger back and power through the middle, and Gibbs is more in space and speed. Well, Montgomery has displayed that he can run extremely fast and get 75-yard touchdowns, and Gibbs can take down a defender and truck someone just as easily as Montgomery. I think that part of Gibbs' game is kind of underrated and under talked about. You know, he is just always pushing forward. He can take down defenders. You know, he's scrappy. He's in there. I think Gibbs is extremely strong and can power through anybody. Additionally, he just needs like the smallest crease to get through because he's so fast and elusive. He doesn't need much room. And when you give him just a little bit of room, you just give him that sliver, nearly every time he capitalizes on it. He doesn't allow you to make a mistake, and then he doesn't take advantage. He takes advantage of it every single time. Jahmyr Gibbs is just a phenomenal player. So fast, incredible moves, so explosive, super fun to watch, great teammate. I can't wait to watch the Lions next year. I really think Gibbs is going to help the Lions win a Super Bowl. The one thing I really want Gibbs to have next year is, well, I guess there's 2 things. One, every time he has an explosive play, I swear he gets down at like the 1 yard line or inside the 5. And I just want him to score those touchdowns. He'd have so many more touchdowns. There's so many times where he has a 30-yard run and he gets tackled at the 1. I mean, it makes sense that it happens because, you know, the defense is trying to keep the offense out of the end zone, but it's just, I think it's funny how many times it happens to Gibbs. And also, I want to see Gibbs go for like an 80-yard touchdown run like Montgomery did. I really want that for Gibbs. That'd be super exciting. Can't wait to watch him next year, though. I think he's going to have over 1,000 yards rushing, over 300 yards receiving again, and I'd say probably 15, 20 total touchdowns. I think Gibbs is going to have a phenomenal season. I picked him in both my fantasy leagues last year, and he did not disappoint. I mean, people complain about him at the beginning of the season, but, you know, it was to be expected that they work him in slowly. That's what they did with Jamo, and, you know, Jamo got a lot more touches throughout the end of the year and the playoffs. So if you enjoy my content, I'd really appreciate if you could like, subscribe, helps me out a lot. Let me know what you think about my video in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching. Go get yourself a Gibbs jersey.